zero to This call is from a correctional facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and disclosure to the district attorney or other law enforcement agencies. To continue and accept this call, please press 1 after the tone. Your current balance is $38.57. This call is from a correctional facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and disclosure to the district attorney or other law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello.
Yeah, pause my bad. The tablet got low connection.
It's cool. So the question was, what have you been doing while you're in there to prepare yourself for when you get released?
Man, I've been reading a lot of books, working out, practicing discipline in certain areas that I feel like I lack. I also been just writing down goals and plans, like even just to start up my day or planning out my day. I got this list on my wall. I wrote down like from 7 o'clock when I wake up to 11 o'clock shut down the program, but it go to 12 because I go to sleep around that time, most likely, because I got to brush my teeth and everything after I'm done. But I basically just plan out my day and be more precise in what I'm doing and stick to the plan.
Okay. I'm trying to think how to word this. What is the? Because I send you a lot of books so
For
far.
sure.
So far to date. What is the best book that I've sent you, and what is the biggest takeaway?
I'm not gonna lie, Dad. I like two books. I'm gonna give you the two that I like the most is that book you just sent me, As a Man Thinketh, and well, actually I'm lying. Now it's three books, but the from 1 to 3, highest to the last one is As a Man Thinketh. I like that book because it's like you would think he talk about spirituality, but he really talking about just mastering yourself, because yeah, you could believe in God, but you also got to believe in yourself to be able to do the things that God is willing you to do. You know what I'm saying? Then I like the second book was The Man You're Called to Be, because it's actually like it got a journey in there for you. It's cool. It's a cool book. Like I actually wrote some of the things down. Well, I'm writing down every day. I'm doing a little action challenges, and I'm gonna send it to you so you can see my responses and everything. But that's besides the point. And I like that 50 Cent book too that you sent me because I'm into the music industry. I really want to do that. So, I just kind of got a different outlook on something that I actually got interest in, and that's really the three books that I do mess with.
All right. Uh, Being that we are in the process of rebuilding our relationship, or not rebuilding, strengthening our relationship, what is one thing that you feel like I have changed since your childhood?
Um, First of all, I like that you said strengthening and not rebuilding because we have a relationship built. Even when I was in Hawaii, we had a relationship built. Um, One thing that I feel like you have changed that I just love is being more understanding and empathetic for me and my journey because like when I was a kid, we all know I used to get in so much trouble, but it was a reason behind it, and I just felt like nobody heard me or understood me, and sometimes I felt unseen, so I was just doing more because every time I get in trouble, that's when I get the attention.
I definitely can relate to that because that's exactly how I was. I always tell you that we more alike than we are different. A lot of the things that you do and have done, I've done in my life because I was also seeking attention. So I'm not going. We can't put that all on you. I had to mature as a man and as a father, because like we talk about it all the time. I thought my goal was, or my job was, to simply provide and protect. But as I got older, I realize now that my job is to also nurture and spend quality time with my children. So I try to do a lot more of that with my grandchildren to date. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
To be honest, Dad, for one, I respect the accountability that you take. You know what I'm saying? And one question that I do have to ask you is, you know, in in your in the midst of your growing, right? Because we all growing and we all learn, and we are supposed to progress. You know, some people stay the same, but you haven't, and I respect that and I love that. I appreciate it. So I want to ask you, like, cause and with my kids, I got three baby girls, and I never like discipline them, but they know who I am, right? So I know a little bit of their story, not all of them, but why did not why did it take a toll on you? Like, why did it make you react the way you did act? And no, not to say I did need discipline, and I appreciate it because I got a lot of discipline with, like, even just working out. It takes discipline to keep going and be consistent. But why that the traumas that you suffered, you kind of like pass them down to me instead of like, I'm not gonna do that for my kids because me and my sister was just talking about it, and she got her own trauma, and she like, can't nobody discipline my kids but me. And my trauma is like, I don't want to discipline my kids, and I don't want nobody else to discipline them physically. It's physical discipline, not all discipline.
Simply put, son, I didn't know no better. So as I get older and I mature, I now understand that corporal punishment is not only physical abuse, but it's emotional abuse as well. And it shows a lack of emotional regulation on the parents' part, right? So since I got whooped, I whooped y'all a lot. You know what I mean? So that's just a lack of, that comes from a lack of experience and a lack of just understanding exactly what was going on. Like, a whooping is so much more than just a whooping. That is corporal punishment, and no parent should punish their children in that manner. And like I tell you now I understand that as a parent, our job is to guide and to teach. And remember, we had the conversation about discipline, and it's a difference between discipline and punishment. Dis-
Absolutely.
Discipline means to teach and to guide, not to hit, not to yell. And as I get older, even with my grandkids, now I search for their understanding, because it was a reason why they did what they did. And they just don't know no better. And it's our job to teach them. And so with your sister, I've instructed her not to whoop the kids unless it's absolutely necessary. You may pop them, right, to get their attention, but to just full out whoop them, that's a no go. Sometimes we have to pop our children to get their attention. Or if they like for instance, if a baby is trying to stick their finger in the light socket, that deserves a pop, right? Because that can have a dire consequence. But then after you pop them, please explain to them why you popped them and why it's not a good idea to stick your finger in a light socket. But I parented in my early years the way I was parented, which was totally wrong. And that's why I double back and I have these conversations with my children of how I affected them and how I understand how they turned out the way they turned out. And I tell you all the time, I understand sometimes why you do what you do. I just don't understand your why because my why was different. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely, Dad. And I can elaborate on my why a little bit because I'm starting to understand my why.
Yeah, so and I don't know if we should go over the why because I mean we can if you want to. If you can
We
briefly
can do
touch on
that
that.
for a later day. I'm not gonna lie, Dad. Like this right here is good enough for me to be honest. And I was especially nervous on this because we don't really expose family business and everything, but it's also something that everybody else go through that they can learn from. Or you feel me? Just the last little subject that we just went over. That's a lot for a lot of parents that need to know. You know.
Absolutely. And when we were talking the other night, you said I want to do a podcast with you. I said, come on, let's make it happen. And so
Man, I'm incarcerated all the way out here, and we still making it happen.
yeah, most definitely. So elaborate on your
Yeah.
why. Elaborate on your why briefly, and then tell after you elaborate on your why, then tell the 13 to 14-year old version of you some wisdom from your point of view right now, being almost 26.
Mm, okay. My why. Well, I would like to say this. I would like to tell my 13, 14-year-old self first.
Uh-oh, your mic messing up.
My bad, Pops. I had to get these headphones together because, they broke or whatever. Typical jail stuff. But I like to tell my 13, 14-year-old self why first. I mean, my 13, 14-year-old, the wisdom that I have gained through my journey. You're going to make your mistakes and everything, but just make sure that you learn from them. And don't do it again. Just keep pushing forward because you're resilient, you're strong, and express yourself. Don't hold it in and don't be scared of the outcome of expressing yourself because it's just going to trap yourself in this bottle and it's going to make you be more angrier and you're just going to keep doing the same thing until you're 26, bruh. And you're going to you're going to waste a lot of time by holding on to that anger, so you really should release it and express the feelings that you have to the people that you have them for. That's it for my 13, 14-year-old self based on that topic. And my why. I built myself on these principles of thinking that certain things was cool or okay and it's not. And it's hard to break them principles and core values because they already embedded into my mind. Like, even though I know that certain things is not cool, being in the streets, you feel me, it's nothing but this box right here that I'm in and the box that my twin is in, and she was so innocent. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she a saint or anything, but she ain't never hurt nobody, and certain things is played out in life, and it creates deeper hatred in you, but you really just gotta really focus and see the better in life and understand that this is all part of the plan. You know what I mean? We don't like it, and I hate it, to be honest. And hate is a strong word. I wish it never happened. You know what I'm saying? Every day I kind of like beat myself up and just wish it was me because she was just so beautiful and innocent. But it's a plan for it. It's all for the greater good, and I'm going to make it worth it. So my why, I built myself on these core values and principalities of the streets because that's where I felt comfortable and loved at because I could be myself and express myself how I wanted to.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Now that I'm hearing that lady right there keep saying that every 15 minutes, 14 minutes, because I only get a 15-minute phone call, it click a different button in your head and you understand and you respect something. So my why is just really I built myself on the wrong principalities, but I stand for something and I don't fall for anything.
All right. So we only got a couple seconds left. So with that being said, son, like I appreciate you calling in, and I
I
appreciate
appreciate
this
that.
conversation. I just learned something new about you, and we'll talk about it off camera. But as always, I love you, and you know, just keep doing what you're supposed to do while you're in there, and when you get free, we'll make it happen.
For sure. I love you more, Dad, and I'll talk to you in a minute. I'll call you later.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.